Back in Australia, the conflict in the Ukraine has reverberated through a fracas at the Australian Open tennis tournament. Russian fans proudly waved their nation's flag during a match between Russian and Ukrainian competitors. Tennis Australia has now banned the display of Russian and Belarusian flags at the event. Let's bring in the chairman of the Australian Federation of Ukrainian Organisations, Stefan Romanov. Stefan, good to talk to you again. These missile strikes, though, in Ukraine, killing so many civilians, they are just atrocious, aren't they?
Yeah, Chris, good to be with you again and Happy New Year. And before I forget, thank you very much for keeping this issue alive to make sure we don't have Ukraine fatigue. Yes, look, it's horrendous what's happening in Ukraine at the moment. Russia continues to shell different places of Ukraine. There is nowhere safe in Ukraine at the moment. And the international community obviously supporting Ukraine. But I've just come back from Ukraine, and I think one of the messages that the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Dmytro Kuleba, left us with was, please tell your governments that we need to act with speed. In other words, any support, and we're calling on the Australian government again to provide more military support, because it is now essential to make sure that Ukraine gets this support. We're seeing the visuals that you're showing now. This is the reality. The war continues. Russia continues to blow up bits and pieces of Ukraine. We have people dying. We have young children dying. And then we have this situation that we have here in Australia in terms of the tennis. And that's why, from our point of view, from the Australian Federation of Ukrainian Organisations, but also Ambassador Vasyl Myroshnychenko, we've been very strong about saying to Tennis Australia, you can't hide behind sport. What's happening in Ukraine today, sports people are dying, sport facilities are being blown up, Putin has no respect for life. We need more military support, and we need Tennis Australia now. They've banned the Russian and Belarusian flags. But we've also written to Craig Tiley to make sure that it's enforced. What happens if some...
They've today banned Russian flags. That's sensible after there was conflict or tension on the sidelines today. The Russian players also, and Belarusian players and all that, they're not listed as being from those countries. What else could Tennis Australia do? You're not suggesting that we ban players from the tournament based on the actions of their governments?
We did initially. The Australian Federation of Ukrainian Organisations, as did the Ambassador. We had called on Tennis Australia to do what other international sporting bodies did, and that was to ban players. We had recently had the swimming hit, international swimming. We've had other international events being banned. But can I just go back to, for example, what Cricket Australia did on matter of principle, is not playing with Afghanistan because of certain issues that relate to what sort of a world we want. So by continuing to ban, by ostracising Russia, the other thing we have to understand is the video you just showed before with the Russian flag. I guarantee that'll be shown throughout Russia to show that Australia is supporting Russia.
I take your point, Stefan, and I appreciate you greatly for coming on the program. Thank you very much. We do have to move along, but it's a very fraught issue, that, isn't it?